Okay, so setup wise, very, very good.
Yeah.
Lots of good things there. So on occasions you do get a little bit close to the ball, so just be careful of that. That will obviously give a little bit more of that sort of trapped feeling, okay? But generally speaking, very good sort of start position there. Grip, got your shoulder alignment there, nice, okay? Ball position, everything else good. Backswing, not too bad. It is shorter, okay? I think that in time might get a bit longer. I think sometimes when you lose a bit of confidence when the ball's going here and everywhere, we tend to do less to be less wrong. So your swing might get a bit short, especially the driver. Or you get a bit sort of 3/4 and bunty, it'll stay in the fairway. In time, we want to get that a little bit longer, but until you get that strike and that confidence, stick with that, it's absolutely fine, okay? This swing here now, you can see is a bit shorter again because you're working on this sort of 3/4, half length swing, okay? Previously with the full swing feeling, there was your impact. You see the ball blur in there now, the hand's now back by that right leg, and your head sort of in front of the ball there. As you swung through, you then chased after it, and then your head was in front there, and when you finish that swing, you'll look at that finished position and go, oh, crikey, I've transferred my weight. Well, you have your top off, but you've only sort of gone that way. And when you move so much to the left, I say it's like throwing a ball with the ball behind you. The only way you can get it towards target is flick your wrists, which creates that scooped impact, as we can see there now, which then sends the ball way up in the air. If we can keep the head behind the golf ball, so you see your head here now staying back behind the hips moving towards target, you can see there's your impact, and that's what we're looking for. Yeah, a straight line down to your shoulder, through your left arm, to your hand, through the shaft, to the golf ball. That's this side of the. If you move your head this way, you've just got no space. So you're either probably at the old unmentionable, or your brain will figure out, okay, we're not doing that, and just create some space by flicking with your hands. And again, it's sometimes at the ball straight, hence why you shot 1 over for 9 holes. But then we didn't quite come together. 10 over back 9. Still a great score of 11 holes, 11 over 18 holes, great score. But doing it the way you did is more frustrating. If you'd have gone 5 over 6 over, you'd go, oh, happy days. But to go 1 over 10 over, you're like, oh, God's sake. And that's where that inconsistency comes from. If you're trying to square the club face up with this means and being in the wrong position, and again, I always come back to that throwing a ball. If you've got ahead of the golf ball throwing it, very hard to throw a ball successfully. So practice some of those drills there where when you sort of swing through, and what you want to try and do is really feel, the shaft just goes out of view there, but you can hopefully see it, keep this angle in that right wrist for longer. So when you get your arms to kind of here, the club is almost pointing down there. Really kind of feel like you've got that wrist, that right wrist sort of palm down and sort of like smothering and cover, I think usually the cover drive kind of sensation. To me, I would never think that. It was cricket, to be fair. I wouldn't think of it as a cover drive, but yeah, I guess the sensation obviously is that kind of motion there. That's what you feel. It doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that sort of downward. Yeah. So the club is staying down, and again, as a practice, try and get your launch angle down to as low as you can. Hit a 7 on there, keeping your head behind the ball. Can you get that launch angle down like 6.7 or something, or 7-8 degrees or whatever? Try and get as low as you can. So really, really exaggerate it. So what you would then see at impact is kind of a head behind the ball. And what is a phrase I often use, that your head and your hand bookends the ball. So your hands would be this side of the ball and your head's that side of the ball. Okay, so you have the shaft would be, if this is the blue line, the shaft would be way forward there and your spine there. And then that ball then be going whizzing off like a little low rocket. And if you look at tour players, even with a wedge, their head's behind the golf ball. As long as you get a face on camera. If the camera's off to the side, like on TV coverage, it might look like the head's in front or behind differently because the angle's not straight on, you see. But if you go on YouTube and look at all these sort of slow-mo shots, they're all having the head behind the golf ball, that impact. Because that's the easiest way and the most successful way for your arms to swing to target. The second you get your head ahead of it, you've taken the space out of it. And then, of course, when you're trying to fight that, it just leads to kind of weird things. And like I said, it feels to you like it's going to go higher because you're leaning back in the ball up here somewhere. But you control the club and the launch with the hand, you see, not the chest trying to get over the ball too much. And if you ever finish with your spine in that angle, or this foot stepping over there, your top half's gone. You want to keep your top half inside it sort of self and feel like you're rotating a bit more, kind of almost like your chest is when you finish these shots, John, your chest is almost up to the sky, not kind of looking down in that sort of aerodynamic sort of form there. So, make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Good man, very, very good, okay. So yeah, I work on that, get a bit of practice with that.